I recorded video of how I've twisted the stirrups on my saddle. And I've done this process a few years ago on my daughter's saddle, so this is what I did years back. And I did it according to a blog article. I'll put the link in the description. Okay, so here are things you need or might need. Definitely the saddle strings. You can get them for $30 at Tractor Supply. I have these ones. They're black, but I'm still going to use them. Baling twine might help hold the fold in place. You can use the hammer to smash the fold in place. The bucket is for hot water. You probably want to soak your leather. I do to make it softer. And the blog, he oiled the leather ahead of time and then soaked them in hot water. And I didn't oil them today. I oiled them a couple weeks back, but you know, your choice. Okay, so I soaked the leather in hot water to start with. Then I get a saddle string and I cut the slit towards the end, and you gotta make sure it is wide enough for the leather piece to go through itself. And you can leave that looped because you can just throw it over the stirrup leather later. Okay, so next I'm folding the stirrup leather into itself, and I'm placing the baling twine above where I'm going to put the leather wrap. So there's another YouTube video out there that discusses the placement of the Nevada twist, whether it's too short or too long, and how that could run into trouble depending on where all the leather ends up. So here I'm just putting it on the saddle where I would normally have it. But yeah, you gotta change the buckle over because now you're twisting it to go on between the leather and the fender skirting. So now I'm going to see where this would fall into place. And I'm going to wrap the leather as close to the Blevins buckle as I can. And according to the blog that I originally used for this, he puts the loop towards the Blevins buckle, and I'm just going to continue to do that. And he says wrap 3 loops. And I wrapped 3 loops facing me, and it looks like 5 loops on the other side. I mean, you definitely want enough loops, but I don't know, maybe you can do one less or so. And then I pulled a little too tight here because I don't have to loosen it up later to get the leather through. So first you put it through the channel. And then you go over the bottom one and then under the rest of them. And then I pull it through the loop up at the top. And this is also called a whipping knot. And at the end of all this, yeah, you cut the excess off. And then I like to put it back in the hot water again. That way when it dries, the leather tightens up. Um, that leather, the stirrup leather will eventually straighten out and just stay out of the way of everything. I had wet it previously and then folded it up into the stirrup hobble, so it's going to be a little bit annoying for a bit, but that should work itself out soon. And then I test it out, and so far it feels pretty good to me. And then you can see how they stay open when your boot's gone.